The reason some people struggle with compassion is because they suffer from amnesia. You can't forget where you came from, man. Before I criticize or judge or come hard on somebody because of their behavior, I often think back in times when I used to wild out. People look at me now and think that I'm just like 100% I've arrived, man, of God. And I tell you the truth, that's not the case. I have my struggles. I feel like every Christian, every person has their struggles too. And the more honest we are with ourselves, the more honest we'll be with other people. And that honesty is what will build the relationship. That honesty is what will build that bridge. That honesty is what's going to bring more unity. That transparency is what we need. Most of the generational gaps exist because the generation above forgot what it's like to have to deal with certain struggles that they no longer have to deal with. We're only here by the grace of God. And so keep that in mind. I know I've been called to bridge gaps. And so my mission is to remove that divide and build strong, real, intimate relationships. Not just tolerance, but a true affection towards one another. But we got to remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And you won't really care unless you can relate. And you won't relate unless you remember. You can't forget where you came from, man. He who has been forgiven much loves much. Much of the bridge building process happens best when people can remember a point in time in which they were suffering from or dealing with some of the same issues that the person in front is currently going through. You won't be able to relate unless you remember a time in which